Yo, what's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing tonight? I'm doing well. Let's see, get myself situated here. What's going on, everybody? Everybody have a good Thanksgiving, good time off, spend time with your friends, family, and all that fun stuff. All right, just checking on things here. Let me lower the music a bit. Let me know if the music is at a good level for my voice. Sounds okay to me. Let me dial in my own stuff here. All right, sounds pretty good to me. Seems like we got a lot of people on the East Coast tuning in right now. It's a good time, 4:30 in the afternoon. I got about an hour and a half, so it's 4:30 now. Probably stream until about 6. I want to try to get a little bit of work done on the P&B, obviously, as the title suggests. I've been working around Highland quite a bit lately, so I wanted to continue doing work there. I've added this scene over here, I think during episode 50. You guys might have seen me do a little bit of work on this side of Highland, and I want to continue doing a little bit of work here, and as well as in the industrial area, which is where we left off. During the last live stream, $20 from 44 Willies. Thank you so much, buddy. Much appreciated. So yeah, we're going to try to do a little bit of work on that tonight if we have any time, or if I have a little extra time. I'm thinking maybe we'll do a little switching up in Grafton because the yard is getting a little full, so we could build a train. Maybe. I'm hoping maybe we'll have a little time for that. But otherwise, I wanted to do a little bit of work up here. I was working on it this morning, and it just kind of occurred to me that I could be working on it with you guys. And like I said, I've got a little bit of free time tonight, so why not? Howdy, everybody. Lots of people tuning in. That's great. It's good to see everybody around. Yeah, so this is just, there's no spoilers here. I haven't started shooting episode 51 or anything like that. But if you saw my post on Patreon/Facebook, the name of the game right now is to just get as much work done on the P&B as possible. So I'm just kind of blitzing through it, and lately I've had the creative juices have just been really flowing pretty good. So I've got good momentum going right now. I'm feeling pretty inspired, so I want to try to maintain that and just sort of get as much done as possible. Oh no, did the stream freeze? No, I don't think so. I think that's just the lag. All right, so let me just make sure. How much delay is there? Yeah, okay, that's fine. Looks good. What's going on in the chat here? Yeah, so maybe we could do like an hour of building and like 30 minutes of running or something like that. Let's see where that gets us. I was thinking, so this morning I was working on this highway here. I put in this retaining wall to make room for a few more warehouses to fill in this spot over here. So I thought maybe we could continue with that and maybe get some of this industrial area wrapped up and filled in maybe back here as well. I've got a couple placeholder buildings. I need to figure out what I'm going to do with this road, if I want to just dead end it, if I want to angle it down to parallel the highway, or if I want to go over it or under the highway. I haven't really decided yet. And the other thing is I need to figure out what I'm going to do with this road and what on earth is going to be on the other side of this highway. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. So if you guys have suggestions, let me know. I saw a question in here that was asking if the P&B was released for 2019 yet. What it says, has the updated version been released yet for 2019? No, obviously I'm still working on it, but if you're a patron in the top tier, it is available every month. I update it, which actually reminds me I need to update the downloads and everything for my patrons. I'll do that after this. So it is not necessarily publicly available yet, unless you're a patron, an executive patron, and then you can have access to it. I've been doing well. I've finally, now that the summer is over and it's getting cold out, I feel like I have my life back. I can spend more time doing stuff indoors and not feel like I need to be outside. So I'm doing pretty good. Work's got me busy, and you know, whatever. Just trying to maintain some semblance of sanity. All right, so let's get started here. Actually, the first thing I need to do. Okay, we are on the route layer. I've had this issue lately where I start building on the session layer and I'm not really paying attention. So we'll make sure we don't do that today. So I want to level out some of this terrain here. What I'm thinking of for this area is we're gonna fill in probably this bit with some vegetation, and along the tracks. So maybe we'll start there and work our way this way. Obviously, these are going to be some work areas, parking lots, and I'd like to do a little bit of detailing through here. We'll fill this in with a bit of vegetation, and maybe we can get this and this taken care of. I really haven't done much else in this area since the last live stream where we built up this crossing a little bit and some little bit of vegetation through here. So we can maybe try to get a little bit of that done. But let me give you a quick overview really quick of the just of Highland, because I'm really happy with how it's starting to shape up. Like I said, the past couple of nights I've been working on this little housing development here. And I mean, just look at this scene. Like, there's just so much going on here. There's so many like layers. You know, we've got the road dipping down, we've got the bridges, and then there's some, I'm pointing at the screen with my hand. Use the mouse. We've got these other bridges here. The houses are built up on a ridge. We've got retaining walls all over the place. So there's a lot of layers to it, and I'm really happy with how that's coming out. I mean, it's supposed to be Highland, right? So it should be high. So I want to continue adding some houses back here and have a little bit of a housing development. Nothing crazy. It's probably not going to be any bigger than this. And then I'll just sort of build up into the mountainside with some trees, and we'll fill it in that way. But yeah, I mean, that's the way it looks in that direction. And then from over here, like if we come like over the tracks and kind of like look down, like that vantage is really cool in my opinion. You know, you got your housing to the right, your industrial stuff to the left. It's just like a really nice blend of zoning, I guess you could say. $5 from KG. Should have done this a long time ago. Better late than never, I guess. Thank you so much for the $5. Much appreciated. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so I guess let's start with the vegetation here, because that'll sort of inform where we're gonna go from this point onward. And again, like I'm using this highway back here as a scenic divider, so I'm not gonna really build much beyond the other side of that. So let's get started here. It's tough for me to build. I'm not gonna lie. It's tough for me to build during a live stream because I get very distracted by the chats going on, and I want to answer everybody's questions and that sort of thing. So it gets a little crazy. But let's see. I'll try to focus. Very easily distracted. Just throw some of this grass down. I usually like to take some of this dirt texture and put it underneath the ballast. So that's what we'll do, actually. We'll start with that. That way when you lay out the ballast, it sort of looks like it's on something. So we'll go right up to there. We'll fill this in here. Same thing like along the road. And again, like I said, I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with this, where I'm going to continue this road. I was thinking maybe another small housing development in here-ish. And then maybe, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing over there, but I'm not going to focus on that right now. It's just, I don't know what I'm doing yet. So let's put this ballast back down. And this particular ballast texture, I don't really like to rotate it too much. I'll rotate it once in a while, but I have found that it kind of looks better when you don't rotate it constantly. You get a little bit more of that like gritty texture. Oh, by the way, I don't know if I mentioned in 2019, I'm not, or in the P&B, I'm not using the PBR parallax textures yet. So whenever you get access to this, don't use that. What do we got? 43 people watching. Sweet. All right, let's get some more dirt. You see how like now we've got a little bit of a dirt line between the ballast and the grass. I like the way that that looks. It seems kind of realistic to me. So, oh, I didn't want to paint up there. Not a big deal. Yeah, we'll see what we get done tonight. I'm always really ambitious about trying to get projects done, and then I end up just like overwhelming myself. Let's put down some vegetation here. And you know what? We will I gotta find that city dirt texture. Where is it? This one. This is sort of a nice trackside, gritty grass and, you know, coarse vegetation, dirt mix. I like using that along with the other one. Works pretty well. The grass, well, let's see. The textures I'm using are the city textures by S. Myers, and then I'm also using the JR grass, which I did use on the Drybrook route, and I believe maybe the WK&S also. So I'm using that. And then in terms of like the actual vegetation, it's mostly JVC stuff. So by the way, also I've got poured myself a nice little glass of scotch. It's the holiday season, so cheers to you guys. I'm gonna have a little sip. Happy holidays to everybody, by the way. I hope your holiday season is off to a good start, because it's gonna be a big one. It's gonna be busy. All right, so let's see. We'll add some vegetation around this retaining wall. And let's see. It's usually good to try to get a couple trees in. I've been a big fan of the... I mean, I always use the RMM trees, but these new PG Profig trees, I don't know if they're new necessarily or if somebody fixed the old Profig trees, but I really like the way that they look. They got a good shape, they got a good color and everything. So let's put a couple of those down. It's kind of nice to mix them with the RMM trees. There's some of them are sort of similar in shape and color and stuff like that, but it's nice to have the variety. So let's see. I'm trying to use a mix of stuff. I don't think I want to use too many big ones. Just trying to imagine that this isn't going to be necessarily like an old growth forest or something like that, so you don't want to use too many big things. What's going on, Mal? All right. How do I want to do this? Let's use a bit of this grass. I did start using a little of the, what do you call it? Turf Effects grass. I'm not really a huge fan of it. It gets the job done, but I really just don't like that I don't feel like I have like enough control over it. You know what I mean? So like, I think in sparse areas, it might be good. Not sparse, but like further away areas, it might work better, at least for me. But yeah. Let's see. I've been also trying, I always try to like use similar assets, especially scenery assets over and over again, simply because like when you go to download the route, there won't be quite as many insane dependencies. Like right now, I think that this route is up to like 5,000 or 10,000 asset dependencies. It's pretty ridiculous. So let's see. I don't know if I want to use the spline one there. Let's use some of these. I like these RMM Cust. They've got a good texture to them and they're easy to work with. And they're like a good size too. That looks pretty cool. Find a taller one. Kind of sneak it in there. That looks cool. Kind of hide that retaining wall a little bit, you know? It's like a, what do you call it? I guess like a handmade abutment, really, is what it is. Ah, yeah, that's true. Turf Effects may really improve with the new terrain tools. Is that out yet? Are the new terrain tools available for like beta? Because like if it is, I should do a live stream with that. Check it out. But I haven't been, I haven't really been paying close attention to a lot of the development stuff, other than There are little updates here and there that it's in, you know, a work in progress. But if it's out, maybe I'll schedule a live stream to actually take a look at it. Let's see, we'll drop that down a little bit. I don't mind that this is floating a little bit because it's kind of obscured, so that's fine. Let's see, well, we don't want to obscure our billboards. Yeah, that should be fine. So that's already looking a bit better. Let's see, all right. So one of the things that I like to do, or at least that I've been doing recently, is next to the, I think I talked about this before, like next to the track or the road, I'll either raise or lower the terrain a little bit, because like when they go to do the grading, you know, even if the track is pretty level, they're still pushing out, you know, some of the material to the side. So I'll kind of just try to do that a little bit, like raise the terrain a little. That at least gives a little bit more visual variety when you're driving. It makes it a real pain in the butt when you're operating, you know, with the cameras, because then you like, it's not too bad, but you hit the bump and the camera goes up and down. So I think through here is just going to be filled in with vegetation. Do a little like crisscross pattern. Oh, that's grass. Now would be a good time to insert ads. No, YouTube, now would not be a good time. People have been watching for like 5 minutes. Why would I do that? Read the room. And then I think maybe, I don't use it too often, or at least I haven't used it too often in this area, the BNBY grass. I do like the BNBY grass. Maybe I haven't used it up here at all, actually. But it looks a little, what's the word? It's like thick. Let me see if I can find it. I don't think I've used any up here. Let's see, what is the dark asphalt road? Well, this is a hand-laid road. This is actually several different things. So you've got the yellow line, obviously. The asphalt is just a regular asphalt spline. Like that. And then I put the white and the yellow markings on there. Myself. Because I'm just a psychopath like that. All right, what was I looking for? BNBY grass. It's not, yeah, so what I was saying is that it looks good, but it's a little, it can be a little thick. Like it's not sparse. But this actually looks like it might work good in here. I like mixing the different grass types because, you know, it's good to have a little variety in textures and colors. That's not bad. I'll take that. Maybe some flowers in here would make it look a little bit better too. Oop, hitting the mic. All right, cool. Let's maybe put a little bit up here as well. So like, you know, for example, something like this, when you do like a little short section of it, I just feel weird that you can kind of see the edges of it. I don't know. Maybe that's just me, like paying too much attention to something like a weird little detail like that. Or maybe I could just do a better job blending it together. That looks cool. Oh yeah, I've seen the Daylight's grass too, yeah. Might have to check that out. All right, let me clean up the edge of this highway here a little bit because a lot of that asphalt is kind of encroaching. There was a new texture that I started using recently. What was it called? Willie's told me about it. I know I used it down on Pleasantville. Oh yeah, so just to show you, I was talking about Pleasantville being almost done. This is the whole Pleasantville branch here. Mine 78's up here. We've got the coal power plant down here. Pleasantville is over here. We've got Moss Creek is over here. So a lot of the scenery, I'll just take you down here real quick, is it's mostly just a tree tunnel through here, but it's good to have some variety, I guess. But I mean, the Pleasantville secondary is like getting pretty close to done. I've got to fix the textures through here on the this turnout for Moss Creek, but I mean, other than that, it's like starting to come together pretty good. But I'm getting distracted. What did I want to come down here for? That texture, that's what I was looking for. Let's see, I used it underneath one of these roads here. Oh yeah, Pine Hill. This Pine Hill grass texture is really nice. So that's sort of been my workflow right now, is that I'm trying to, like, during, you know, like my Patreon live streams or regular live streams, do some of these major builds, like these big city areas. And then in between, I'm trying to just like pump out some of like these forested areas that are really boring for video and for live streams and that sort of thing. And just, you know, it's just sort of like a filler area. So what is my watch telling me? What do you want? Oh, Patreon benefits, of course. Yeah, I'm just trying to get as much done as quickly as possible, but that's been sort of my workflow, I guess, is to try to get those areas in between done, like off camera, so that when I do stuff on camera, it's a little bit more interesting and fun, and I'm not just like spamming out trees or something like that. That's looking pretty good. I'm liking that. We could definitely add a little bit more grass texture down here, so it's not just dirt. We'll kind of mix it up a little bit. Yeah, I've been getting really antsy to do some actual operating. I'm dying to like start building some trains and really running them around on this route, because it's starting to finally come together and it's looking really good. And I see, what is this? Oh, that was weird that one of those shrubs was like rendering on the tracks. I don't know why it was doing that. All right, cool. So far, so good. So let's start working our way over to these warehouses. And we're gonna fill in the scenery in between. I don't wanna just start like laying out grass and shrubs and stuff like that in between until I know exactly like what the rest of this is gonna look like. So I'm kind of picturing, and we're just gonna I'm gonna rough this in really quick. Why is that the only texture that's showing up here? That's weird. The game's bugging out. It's only showing me, oh, there it goes. It was only showing me those certain textures. All right, so in the city texture, the city dirt textures or whatever, there are some really nice gritty dirt textures, and some of them have like garbage in them and stuff like that. So I want to kind of use those for the back of this building. So we'll do that. Maybe kind of rough it up on the edge. The front will be pavement, regular asphalt. And again, like, I know this looks like super monochrome. I am going to go through and add more, you know, variations and textures once it gets to that point. Not quite there yet, so I am not going to include that just yet. All right, so we're going to fill this in. And then, so what I like to do is look at each building and kind of figure out where the entrances are, or any garage doors or anything like that, and then try to imagine what that building is gonna, you know, how would it fit into the scenery around there. So Let's add some of this really coarse texture back here. And I found that, you know, a lot of people will just hold down the rotation button. But if you're using a really coarse texture, it's best to not hold it down. Just rotate it every once in a while. If you're doing something that's got like a real pattern to it, like grass, it's a little bit better to rotate it a little more frequently. Frequently, not frequency. Wow. I had one sip of scotch. All right, so we are gonna add this in here. And I'm thinking maybe we'll be like, kind of come around this way. So we'll put that here. Got a garage bay over here, so let's mix in some of these textures. Cool, cool. And let's work in some dirt over here. And again, I'm trying to do some like scenic dividers in between some of these plots. This building doesn't have anything going on the back side. So again, like I've got this building really close to this highway here because it's supposed to represent the highway, the building being there and then the highway kind of cutting in around it after the fact. So this should be like an old building, let's say, or older, pre-highway existence. Okay, cool. So let's start with that. First thing I'm thinking is I want to put a wall. I also need to detail some of this stuff around here. I'm going to use this wall. Let's go like this. Bring it right up to this retaining wall. Now, I don't love the texture on this retaining wall. It's just the yarnish. It's like a really basic default texture, but I think, you know, once all the scenery and stuff is placed around it, it's going to be fine. So I'm not terribly worried about it looking dated or anything like that. So let's bring that up to here. This is coffee. Maybe that's what I need more of. All right, so we've got that. We've got this power pole back here. Maybe let's just slide this over a little bit. So I did the same thing with that asphalt texture up here on the highway, which was a real pain in the butt to do. Well, let me tell you, I do not recommend it at all because it was a matter of like lining layers of splines up so they didn't overlap or float. And yeah, I don't recommend doing that. It looks nice. I mean, if you want to take the time and do it, the effect is really good. In fact, I probably should bring that asphalt, do another asphalt spline and bring it up to the edge of the guardrail, or bring the guardrail in a little bit. Not sure. I don't know how much I really love that, but whatever. Looks cool. Cool enough for me. So we're going to put a little parking area back here. I think is going to be nice. I kind of have to figure out what to do with this space as well, but we'll get there eventually. So do a little bit of parking over here. And then we do have a big garage bay. We will probably do some scenery stuff back there, so I don't want to go too crazy because we're getting a little bit further away from the tracks. I do want it to look good if somebody flies over here and from a distance, but I also don't want to eat up too much, too many polygons just with like these background scenes. It's always a balancing act, you know? And this is probably some kind of like fire escape or something like that. So bear that in mind. Big fan of this cracked pavement texture. I really, really, really love that. Or broken, I don't know what you would call that, like shattered. That adds so much texture to the pavement. I think we'll kind of mix this in a bit. I mean, it looks so gritty. I love that. Really love that. Do I want to do any parking spaces up here? I don't think so. Let's grab one of these curb assets and maybe go... Maybe I don't want that style. I don't really know if this is gonna work once I make the little cutout. Actually, you know, maybe I don't need a cutout. Let me try something here. Been using these driveway assets up here. And I wonder if I can kind of use that as a sort of a sidewalk. Oh, you know what? What am I thinking? Let me just use the sidewalk asset, whatever this one is. It's the Yarnish one. It is super thick, so we could definitely add some. Where am I? Now I'm lost. There we go. Yeah, look at that. How thick do you think that is, like scale height wise? Let's let's look at something. 3D Zoog. So that's like a 2 foot, at least 2 foot thick piece of sidewalk there. That's crazy. Probably go a little bit lower. I'm just trying to like go over the top of that curb. Sweet. And I don't know if that's going to go up to there. Oh, you know what? We can... Maybe we can do this. This might look interesting. Have like... Can I get like 2 parking spaces there? That's cool. I like that. Down some pavement. You thought that I finished the P&B? No, no, no. We finished phase 1. That was a long time ago, but yeah, phase 1 is, that's done, but the P&B is much bigger than that. I've been working on this for a while now, as many of you know. It always feels like completion is just around the corner. But I've been enjoying you have to enjoy the process, and I've been enjoying it, so I'm not complaining. I am really looking forward to doing some other projects, though. I'm not gonna lie about that. All right, so we've got 2 parking spaces there. I like that. That's kind of a cool idea. A Brit who likes tea. I was looking at this like, what does that say? What's up, dude? Let's do the same thing. Not the same thing, but let's just put a little sidewalk here. This is like stuff that I haven't done in a really long time. Like spent, you know, a lot of time on specific scenes, because I've been really like trying to cover a lot of area, so it's nice to be able to slow down and, you know, look at a building and be like, okay, how can I bring this to life a little bit more? And sometimes it feels like a tremendous waste of time, you know, working on background scenes like this, but I don't really care. It's just how I play the game. All right, that looks pretty cool. We can put a couple trees and stuff in here, and then we'll work on this side. Maybe some smaller trees. What are the smallest ones? There we go. Those and the... Where are they? The RMM Yasins. Which I know I have some around here somewhere. Yeah, there we go. These ones are nice and small. They fit pretty well in these kind of scenes. All right, let's get rid of that actually. Yeah, that feels pretty cool to me. Though, I see something that's going to annoy me. I need it to be... I need it to be perfectly parallel. It's just going to absolutely trigger my OCD. All right, there we go. Cool. So that is a nice start. In fact, maybe we can add just a couple more shrubs through there. That looks cool. All right, I'm digging that. That feels nice. Obviously, we'll add some details and garbage and stuff back there, but that's a good start. Now to figure out what to do with this place. What do we want to do here? So let's see, we've got this corner piece. All right, let's do this. Let's grab one of these mesh fences. And we'll go down this way. Keep it square to the building. So here's what I'm thinking. Maybe this could be like a, I don't want to say a truck yard, but like a spot for, you know, maybe some tractor trailers and stuff to be parked. I always sort of like default to that to fill up some space. Maybe we don't want to go that far back. I'm looking at the terrain here. I want to cut that off before the terrain starts getting too crazy. Go maybe that far. That looks good. And then let's just bring that over. This is a little bit closer to the tracks, so I'm a little bit more inclined to spend time detailing it, so to speak. What am I looking at? Oh, that's the shadow. Okay. Sorry, I'm having really bad allergies today. I picked my cat up just before I started streaming and like gave her a kiss, and all her little dander and stuff got in my nose, so I'm like a little sneezy. 44 Willie is $10. Thank you so much, my man. What's up, Southern? / Sean. No, you didn't miss much there, Willies. Have I tried Audi's sidewalks? Maybe? I don't know. I think I've just been using these ones, the Yarnish ones, for so long that I just haven't wanted to use anything else. And again, that kind of goes with this idea of like trying not to overdo it with too many different assets. Like a good variety of assets is good, but like as it is right now, the P&B, like I said, has so many dependencies that I don't want to keep adding more and more to it. All right, let's see. Can I use this to my advantage, these grids? Possibly. Yeah, all right, sure. Looks square enough for me. So let's cut open an entrance. That's not wide enough. These are kind of crazy, this particular mesh fence, because the fence sticks out beyond the edge of the spline point, you know what I mean? Like if you look at it, the spline point that you grab is here at this post, but it extends out a little bit further than that, so it makes it a little bit hard to line up, but it's not so bad. Oh, you know what I should do? Let me backpedal a little bit. Let me put the entrance to it over here. Like the cutout. Might make a little bit more sense right here. It's so stupid. Let's back it up a little more. Oh. Delete. There we go. Oh wow, that leaves a little weird. Can I make that less awkward? Maybe? No. Whatever. We'll just live with it. Thank you guys. It's good to be back on YouTube. It's been a minute. I have had an absolutely crazy year, so it's good to be back. Hoping to hit 10,000 in 2023. Let's aim for 10K. I'm getting there. I need another 1,200 or so, I think, subscribers. 10K will be the next big milestone. That'll be awesome. All right, let's add a little bit of textures. Let's add a little bit of shrubbery. I don't want to use that one. One of these is like more sparse than the other. Yeah, that'll be all right. Maybe not. I don't want to use that. Let's do this, and we'll dirty this up a bit more. Yeah, you know what might be better to do? Let's just delete that. Yeah, let's do that. So that section of fence is just kind of awkward looking. I don't want to use that one. Which one do I want to use? Number 2? Put that there. Okay, cool, cool. Got to figure out what to do with this space here too also. All right, let's grab a couple of trucks. Let's see how they fit in here. Oh, it's gonna be a tight squeeze. So this will just be like whatever random trucks I can find. So I don't know, can they fit in here like this? Nah, you'd never be able to park that. All right, so we're gonna squeeze them this way. Even that would be a pain, but you know, this ain't gonna work. Oh, thank you. I'm gonna say your name totally wrong. Mihai. Appreciate it. Yeah, maybe a custom roads part 2. Maybe I'll do something like that. There have been people asking about that, so it might be a thing. Let's grab some of these little shrubberies. I just want to put. Maybe this could be. Let me think about this for a minute here. Not necessarily abandoned, but like infrequently used, like storage yard. Sink these into the ground to get just the tips. Like it's a little overgrown. I'm liking that. That's cool. Yeah, I'll have to think about that for a minute. Let's maybe add a little vegetation. Well, I gotta figure out what we're doing on this side. I guess we need a little bit of parking, right? That'd be the next logical thing to add. Just trying to imagine like the area that I work in up in Secaucus is like, you know, an industrial wasteland, very similar to this. So could be a police impound lot. That's not a bad idea. I could dig that. Yeah, I could do that. We could put some cars in there. Definitely not a bad idea. Maybe a tow truck or something. Let's see. I do like that idea a lot, actually. I think I have a tow truck, right? Yeah. Does that have LOD on it? Yeah, it does. Okay. Couldn't remember if I put LOD on it. And I think I have a cop car too. Let's see what other tow trucks we have. Hi, what's up, Wit Simulations? Good to see you back, man. Good to see you. Yeah, I'm just playing through the post-rock playlist right now, so yeah, it's probably a lot of similar stuff. It's like a good mix of just sort of chill, relaxing stuff, so that's usually what I like as my underscore. Let's throw that down. I always like a good beat-up tow truck, why not? That thing's pretty beefy. I don't really love the textures on it, though. That one's nice. So we'll put a couple tow trucks here, maybe a couple police cars. Yeah, police station would be good, too. Oh, here we go. Security cameras. Boom. We'll slap a couple of those down. That'll sort of add to the effect. Which way are these things pointing? I can't even tell. Maybe we'll just put one in the middle. Put one there and maybe like one. I don't know. We'll put that there for now just so I don't forget about it. Or maybe this would be over here, actually, right? Because the cameras are pointing in slightly different directions. Yeah, that'll be cool. Okay, so let's see if we've got police. Oh, I've got mine. Gotta use mine. They don't have any markings on them or anything like that. That's the only thing. I should skin up some ones for the P&B. Maybe I'll do that for next or sometime soon. So it'll be like you know, Highland Police Department or something like that. Grafton Police Department. I like that too. And I got all the CPS stuff too, of course. That's the other thing. Audi gave me some of his assets here. Mostly vehicles, I think. So I'll definitely be adding those up to my website pretty soon. Let's move this up. The P&B is supposed to be in the 90s, so this is probably more appropriate than this one. So maybe I won't use mine. I'll use the CPS ones. And I like this. Sort of reminds me of the NYPD. So I'll use that. Maybe we'll do another one parked over here. And let's move this over here. I don't know about the CPS locos. Audi only gave me these vehicle assets so far. I don't want, I know this might sound wrong, but I don't want to host anything on my website that's going to get me in trouble with anybody, like class ones. So if he wants to send me some stuff to host and it would be okay for me to host it without getting, you know, nailed, essentially, then I'm definitely happy to do it. I'm happy to host anybody's old content, you know what I mean? I've got the website, I've got the space for it, so no skin off my back if somebody wants me to host some stuff, so I'm more than happy to do it. Let's see, there is a grass asset that I'm looking for. Is it this one? It's this one. Oh, you know what? Let me do... Wow, it's 5:30 already? Holy cow. Let me save this really quick. Time is flying. I've been streaming for an hour already? 56 minutes? Got my Alco mug. I don't know if you can see that. My hand is right in the way of it. Boom. Courtesy of Bespoke Rail. Very good product. That's water, by the way, in case you were wondering. All right, so let's see if we can just sort of wrap this up so we can maybe do a little bit of operating. Because like I said, I only have till probably between 6 and 6:30. I'm trying to do some holiday stuff this evening, put up my tree and do some decorating around the house. So I gotta make dinner first, of course. Let's put this back here. Yeah, so what I'm gonna do for the vehicles here is what I've been doing, which is a little cheaty, but it saves me time. I'm gonna copy and paste some stuff from another spot, probably one of these scrap yards that has a lot of vehicles in it. And I think Willie's added on phase 1. Let's go all the way down to Juniata. Willie's has been doing some crazy work around Juniata. This might take a minute to render in. But I think he did put like another scrapyard over here. Yeah, lots of cars here. I guess let me show you really quick while we're here. This is the update to phase 1 that we're working on. He's been updating phase 1 for me since I'm building the rest of the route. But all the billboard trees are gonna be replaced with 3D trees pretty soon. We've got a massive update to Juniata. It's not just a you know, scenic, desolate wasteland. There's actually a town here now and that sort of thing. So it looks really good. That will be included as well, obviously. All right, so let's... I'm not going to end up using all of these, since obviously a lot of them are pretty dinged up. But we'll take a smattering, do a little copy and paste. I'm gonna be hosting the CPS automobiles. I haven't uploaded them yet. They're gonna be up probably sometime after New Year's. All right, so let's paste these in. Actually, you know what? Let's paste them back here. That way I can just sort of drag in what I want. So let's see, we'll put some damaged vehicles in here, obviously. Maybe those ones will be tucked to the back a little bit more. Got a van. Let's see, I don't want too many beat up vehicles. Maybe this truck. That might be about all I'm gonna use. Can maybe throw this guy up here too. Yeah, because I don't want too many things to be like beat up. This is supposed to be like a repo yard. So delete all that. Those last two might be usable. There we go. Here we go. And if I know anything about anything, a lot of these times, places like this are just stacked. Like, full. Packed with, you know, end to end. So, let's see if we can get that effect without using too many vehicles. Let's put this one back here a little bit. I'll move this one here. Oh, I hate looking for vehicles in this game. Let's see. Are these all police cars? We'll use some of the CPS ones. Charger, Challenger. Yeah, you can't afford your sports car. It got repoed. I don't want to use the yellow one. What about something with a nice neutral color, like gray? All right, that's... And I'm imagining they probably pull these things straight in. Or would they be, if they're being towed, they would be backed in, right? I don't know. Not too worried about it. Let's put the van over here. Great, now I'm not... I gotta move that car. All right, that's cool, cool. Not hating that. I need to probably put a gate up. We'll put the gate up and then we'll bring the fence, you know, to the gate, essentially. And let's leave the gate ajar just a bit. All right, that's cool. I dig it. I dig it. I dig it. Yeah, the HP trains cars. I think I hate placing cars. I think you guys already know this, but if I can find a parking lot, let's see. Here we go. We will just do a little copy paste, little copy pasta. I don't know why they pasted that way. That's kind of weird. Yeah, I'm kind of at the point right now, like in this build, that if I could take some shortcuts to get some stuff done, I am absolutely not opposed to doing it. You know, and that includes copying and pasting, you know, not entire scenes, but, you know, things that are really tedious, like selecting cars and placing cars and, you know, doing that sort of thing. So if I can make my life a little bit easier, that means that I can make more progress more quickly and get this thing to a more completed state so I can get it out to you guys. One of the things that I hope to do with the P&B once I'm done with it, I don't really know how doable it's going to be, but I'd like to be able to continue working on it over time, because there's a lot of areas that I'm just sort of filling in with really generic scenery that I think I would like to, you know, go back and add some better scenes to when I have time, but I kind of want to get this thing out first. So I'm kind of tempted to host it on my website and then do like a yearly maybe update. I don't know how I would do it, but you know, something that I'd be able to go back, do a little bit of work here and there, dabble around, and you know, have something to give you guys again. Be able to update it. That's my ideal scenario in my head. If it's doable or not, I don't really know. Why is this picking up like this random texture? There we go. All right, cool. I mean, I'm liking how that looks. All right, let's see. Let's see if we can get a little bit more done. And then maybe we'll try to do a little operation quickly. Let's see if there's like a different fence that might be cool. Maybe this. That looks pretty neat. John Riso, how's it going, my man? All right, let's see if we can come up with something here. I wish there was a better way to know if I was building parallel to something, but without it snapping, you know? All right, let's try something here. I don't need like a super deep, like backyard, so to speak. Try to keep that parallel, and then kind of build this way. Maybe I'll put like a couple of cop cars back here. A couple of cop cars and a couple of tow trucks. Maybe that makes sense. I don't know. Cool. Let's move that to here. Yeah, I mean, I like how that looks. That's a good shape. All right, so then we'll put let's put a couple tow trucks back here, I guess. Maybe they're like, you know, extras. Probably be backed in so that they can pull out quickly. And I think there's like a police van. I mean, this isn't meant to be like a police station, so I don't want to go too crazy with like the police stuff, but I just want to see. Oh, yes, he said Tom suggested a police van. Yeah, let me see. There's got to be something. Oh, we've got these police barricades. Let's just put a couple of those around, like it's sort of, you know, storage. Let's see what else we got here in the asset collection. It doesn't have to be like a super detailed scene or anything, but all the CPS stuff. I thought I had a van. Let me see. Let me check the download station. I know that there was like a police van. Am I using PBR textures? No, not for this one. Not on this build. In the future, I will, and I'll probably eventually convert this to work with the with PBR textures, but for the moment, I am not. We got policeman. I'm just checking the download station quick. Police truck. Let's see, that says SWAT truck. Police van. Yeah, it's European looking. State police car, Pennsylvania, from Dave Snow. Could use that. Sorry, I'm just on the download station. All right. Oh man, so the date 3/12/22. Man, I hate that European style or whatever of putting the date down. SWAT van, that's right. Again, I don't want to go too heavy with. Wow, that's cool. Yeah, I don't know if I want to do that. That's a little much for this particular spot. This isn't supposed to be like a SWAT. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I could. This might be a real pain in the butt to pull out of there, but I'm gonna leave that for now. It could be like a police support building, you know, like where they keep that sort of stuff, but I don't know. I guess I'm just making this up as I go, so it's always tough to like make those decisions like, oh, this is definitely going to be like a cop support facility or something along those lines. That down. All right, so let's add a couple of trees here. Do want to try to mix up the sizing a little bit. Obviously, it does not need to be dense whatsoever. Oh, I was just saying the other night that I wish the roads were a little bit more like city skylines. Because doing them handmade, I mean, the way that these look is really great if you were willing to take the time to like lay it out and make intersections manually and stuff like that. But I really like how city skylines, you know, when you connect splines, or I guess you call them networks, you know, it actually creates an intersection by default. Plain white vans, that would make sense. Do I have any? I've got a, yeah, here we go, delivery van. We can actually do this. We'll put them this way, just to have a little variety. All right, that's looking cool. Let's get a little bit of vegetation going on around here, and then we'll switch over. We'll do a brief operating session, and then I'm gonna have to wrap it up. But I've got time to do a little bit of operating, I think. Some vegetation around the roadway here. Let's see if I can kind of tighten that up a bit also. That's the one thing with these handmade roads too, is that you get a lot of this like texture spill. Like now I'm getting grass up into the road, or I'm getting pavement into like the grass area, and it's not really that big of a deal, but I don't know, it could be better, you know. Add a small junk pile to the side of the highway. Yeah, I do want to do some detailing along the highway. I'm not there yet. That's going to be its own project. I'd like to have like a cop, you know, pulling over somebody, and, you know, maybe some road construction and stuff like that. So I think that's going to be its own, thing when I get to it. And I'm just not quite there just yet. Maybe I'll do that during one of the next live streams. That would be a good one. And let's add. Maybe that's too big. Maybe we won't use a spline shrub there. We'll use some of these. The blue splines are traffic. Yeah, that's a traffic spline. So if I went into driver, that's the path that the cars are going to follow. You can see the cars that are on here right now. All right, let's plop down. I feel like we're missing something. Like, it feels... maybe it's okay. Maybe a couple more trees. Maybe, like, we'll throw a shrub over here. Maybe another one here. It's like this area. Like, I feel so weird taking spline grass and just, like, plastering it everywhere, but I also don't know what else to put there. So I don't know how to fill that in exactly without too much disruption. Let's maybe just put a couple more trees in. Okay. Oh, I'm not looking at the tree. Here we go. Let's grab some RMM trees just for some variety. Try to use some of the other ones that are in the surrounding area. That's also a profig tree. Try not to use too many of these where are they? M Ultra Erst trees or whatever, because they look good, but I've heard that they don't have LOD or anything, so they're a little high poly. Dollar General. The DBEV exists in about the same time as the PNB. Yeah, I mean it does. It is pretty much the same time period. Early 90s, mid 90s. Somebody was asking me if I was going to blend the two together, and you know, I'm not going to do that, but yeah, I mean as far as them coexisting in the same time and space, yeah, 100%. They are definitely in the same universe. So we'll just do a little something like that. Why not? Actually, this might be a good chance to use this BNBY grass. There we go. And you're only going to get a glimpse of this place like as you're passing, but that's cool. They do have LOD. Okay, maybe it's just that they're just really high poly. I'm not sure. I really don't know. All right, that's looking cool. All right, so let's I guess maybe we'll jump into, what time is this? Oh, I've been streaming for almost an hour and a half. 1 hour and 21 minutes. Let's jump over to do a little operating, I guess. Why not? Take a break from building and we'll operate for a couple of minutes. So let's go up to Grafton. So what I was thinking is that what we could do is, this yard is getting pretty full. I was thinking we could build a train to go to Juniata. So from all these cars, I don't know what the best way to do this is, because right now, since I'm still building the thing and I keep passing the route between me and Willie's to do some updates and stuff like that, I don't have like a proper car routing going on. So essentially, if I want to build a train for Juniata, I'm just going to be kind of making it up as I go. Let's think for a minute here. That train for Juniata would probably consist of stuff for the Vonnie branch, right? So, and Old Town. So that would be loaded lumber, empty tank cars, gondolas. I think it would be empty gondolas. I'm trying to remember if Horner's is inbound or outbound. I could look. Where's my paperwork? Yeah, so let's do that. We'll build a Juniata train and we'll take it. We'll see how far we can get. Reed salvage. Oh, Reed salvage is supposed to be inbound loads of scrap. So I remember the last time we operated, we picked up those. I don't even know where it landed. Oh, here we go. So this is what we picked up last time from Horner's. So this should be empty. I'm sorry, REITs. So to go to Horners, though, it should be empties, right? Let's see if I can get this straight. It's been so long since I've done any operating, so a lot of this is just like little faint memories. Yeah, Horners would take inbound empties and ship out loads. So we just picked this up from REITs, so we need to just, this should be empty. And like I said, none of this is like fully set up yet, so it almost doesn't matter. What can I do? Nope. Not that it doesn't matter, but we're gonna have to run it kind of like a model railroad style. All right, those are empty. We gotta just do these. I wish I could just like bulk select stuff. Do I think that Steve will make a steamer for the P&B? Probably. He's sort of mentioned it in passing, so he might. I can tell you that we don't have anything definitively planned or anything like that, so yeah, I don't know for sure. All right, so let's do this. These tank cars are empty. Let me just check in Old Town. They should be empties. Yeah, Texaco in Highland takes loads, so these are all empty. So we've kind of already got the start of our train here to go to Juniata. We got tanks and we've got gondolas. We will fish out some of the loaded center beams. And do I have any coal loads? Let's load up some of these hoppers. I haven't done anything with Surveyor 2.0 except for what you guys saw during that one live stream that I did, unfortunately. I'm anxious to jump into it, but I haven't done anything else with it, unfortunately. All right, let's fill up these hoppers with just the default coal. I'm trying to think of what else exists over in Vonnie and on the branch. There's a couple of box cars, so we'll take some box cars with us. And I mean, I'll have to probably empty or load things as we see fit. I'm going to use this tank and gondola train as our starting point. And we'll just build this train really quick and see what we can do and maybe start heading over that way. Where did you get the content search bookmarks pop up? I'm not really sure what you're talking about. Content search, it's just show search filter right here underneath the, I think that's what you're asking me. All right, so let's see, let's jump in, let's do it. So I gotta save first and then we'll jump, so it says override existing session. No, it's all right. So we can jump into driver. This is why I like Trains 2019, is that I could just do this. And we will... We'll do some switching with... Who do we even have around here? And I don't have my rail driver controller hooked up, so we'll have to just do this the old-fashioned way. Yeah, a lot of this game is exactly the same as it was 10 years ago, unfortunately. I don't know what the game's sound. I'm going to turn it up a little bit. You guys tell me if it's too loud or if it's not loud enough. There's the horn, the bell. I'll turn it up a little bit more. Settings. And none of the gates or anything are going to work right now because I haven't replaced them yet, so just have to pretend. Oh, I'm not. Go to this. No. Still trying to get used to the camera controls. I have to decide what cars I'm pulling and what we're gonna do here. So if this is the start of our train here on the second to last track, do I want to pull all these tankers from everything? I'm not really sure how I want to do this. Like I said, I'm just sort of winging it here because I don't have any plan, or I don't have any like operating structure in place yet. Maybe this train on the third section here, it's got tanks, it's got gondolas, and it's got the coal cars that we need. So maybe we'll pull that and we'll connect those together. I don't know, do I need the hoppers to go to Juniata? I think that would be an Allegheny train. Right? Because Juniata serves, yeah, so I don't need any of these hoppers. I'll take these box cars. All right, so let's do that. Do I have any experience with JMR or RR signals rather than the signals from JR? I honestly don't know a whole lot about the signaling in this game. I usually just place a signal down and hope that it works the way that it should. Which I should mention that the signals that are here right now are just placeholders as well. So just bear that in mind as well. They're not permanent. But yeah, I really don't know. Like when it comes to signaling this route, before release, it's gonna be, I'm probably gonna have to bring somebody else on to sort of help me out with it, because I'm really not familiar enough with how they're set up. Once the P&B is complete, will it be for 19 or Tane as well? I'm gonna try to release the updated phase 1 for Tane, but the rest of it is gonna be for 19 and newer, unfortunately. You can't, I can't backdate a route from 19 to Tane. And since I've been doing all the work now in Trains 2019, this is what it's gonna be in. We'll see how long it takes before I derail. This will probably be a pretty decent sized train to bring over, so. Is my layout in the same room as I'm in? Yeah, my layout is right there. So it's all together. This is like my entire space that I've got to work with for pretty much everything that I personally have. We only have a 2-bedroom apartment, so the rest of the space is living space. As much as I would love to just fill it with more train stuff. All right, so we're basically gonna pull this entire cut, and then I'm gonna, yeah, well, that's what we'll do. We're gonna pull this whole cut. Let me get the switches switched. All right, we're good there. Route this back to the main. That'll go here. $10 from Willie's. Don't wreck it. And no promises. No promises at all. All right. Am I going to go to the Christmas vintage subway rides? Probably not. I did do it a few years ago, but I doubt I'll go this year. I don't know if I'm going to have time to do it. If they run, do they do it on the weekends? It's got to be on the weekends, right? I mean, I guess I have a couple of weekends open before Christmas, so maybe. Hard maybe, but probably not. It just gets too crowded for me, and I'm over that sort of crowding. But if I happen to be in the city at that time, then I'll definitely check it out. But I don't know if I'm going to go out of my way for it. It's on a Sunday? Ooh. Probably not. 'Cause, you know, I got to take the train up to the city from where I live. So Jersey Transit on a Sunday is probably like well over an hour. So, Oh, they're doing it on the 1 line this year? Don't they usually do it on the green line, the 456? I feel like that's what they did in the past. Is the detailing on the turnouts automatic? No. There are some turnouts that, or some track, higher resolution track that you can, that do like automatically generate the frogs and the points and all that stuff, but I have found that they tend to slow the game down quite a bit, so I don't use them. So yeah, those are all, it's all manual. Game is a little laggy at the moment. Yeah, all the frogs and there's not even like moving points on this particular track. I mean, they do make it, people do make it, but I feel like it's just too high poly. All right, so we're just gonna keep pushing cars onto here. I'm not gonna like block it because it's gonna go to Juniata, and then once it's in Juniata, it would be sorted and blocked there. So we're just gonna put this train together. Hopefully it doesn't take too long, but we'll see. It'd be nice to get this train built and then take it at least down to Highland and tie it down there. I'm not gonna be able to get much further than that. What crossings am I going to swap the ones out for? Probably, I know the TBS ones will work with the TRC. And the other thing though is that like there is the TRC update. I haven't implemented it yet. I haven't even tried to see. I don't know if that necessarily works with existing ones. But I think the crossings that I used here anyway are like really low poly. They have a really crappy LOD. So I don't know. I want to swap them out anyway. So it might be the TBS ones it might be something else. I have to see what works and what looks good. All right, why are we not moving? I just noticed the my little graphic on the bottom there is covering up the controls. So sorry about that, but I need to maybe I need to redo my little overlay. I think, and again, I haven't operated enough, but I think that maybe the bulk of the switching would probably take place on the south side of this yard so that you're not fouling this crossing for an extended period of time. I haven't done it yet personally, but again, like the only time that I operate is really with you guys. So, you know, I'm kind of experimenting as I go. I do like how this yard looks. I mean, it's maybe this road is a little bit too wide. Maybe I should go with a more narrow road. But otherwise, I mean, scenery-wise, I'm fairly happy with it. Maybe some more grass and stuff like that, and some other details like some stacks of rail and ties and stuff like that around. But for the most part, I mean, I think it's pretty good. As soon as I couple to this and back up a little bit, I'm going to take a quick break so I can use the bathroom. So let's see, we'll take those loaded coal cars. We're going to take these empty gondolas. We're going to take these tank cars. We're going to take these gondolas. So all the way up until these covered hoppers. And we're going 4 miles an hour, so we could just probably bang right into this. And I don't know how much of this consist is going to fit on this track, so we're going to find out in a minute. All right, let's throttle up again. The thing, yeah, making up everything as you go in a trains op session. The thing is like once I get the route totally done and I can, you know, have it in my possession and not be passing it back and forth, I'm going to come up with an organized structure for actually operating this thing, whether it be like car cards and waybills or just having a notebook so I know what is going where. But, you know, that's the aspect of this game and the P&B in specific that really interests me the most is car movements and that sort of thing. So, you know, I'm going to focus on that quite a bit, and I'm going to be probably pretty thorough with it. How long are your yard tracks? I have no idea. I eyeball pretty much everything I do, so I don't know. They're this long. Yeah, I don't really usually measure too much, so I don't really have an answer. Why are we not moving? The covered hoppers should go. What is it in the... Well, I guess the covered hoppers would probably be dropped off at Allegheny. I'm just trying to build a train to go straight to Juniata, but where would the covered hoppers go over there? Because the gravel pit is operated out of Allegheny, not Juniata. I'm gonna leave the hoppers for now. Oh, wait, for the grain? No, because that would be out of Allegheny as well. I can't think of any other spot that the covered hoppers would go. Is there anything? Oh yeah, there would be in Vonnie. Yeah. There would be grain hoppers, but they would be loaded And that would be coming from Allegheny, from the grain mill there. They wouldn't be coming from over here. So this is going to be a train straight to Allegheny. So the hoppers will go on a train that would go to, or I'm sorry, this is going to be a train straight to Juniata. The hoppers are going to go on a train that goes to Allegheny. Oh yeah, Jay, but this is only one little, I mean, this route, it's not massive. It's like 30, or I think it's like 40 miles long, but it's essentially like a microcosm of, you know, a whole network. So we've got a big yard on each end. This one that we're in right now is Grafton, and on the other end down here is Juniata. In the middle, we have a division point yard, which is Allegheny, and then there's multiple branch lines and such along the route. Branch lines and sidings and industries and things like that to work. So I could send you the overview on Discord and kind of give you a better idea of how big this thing is. But yeah, I mean, overall it's like 40 miles long, so it's model railroad scale, but it's meant to represent like an entire network. And personally, I don't like doing a whole lot of mainline running, so having the distance between major yards and you know, branch lines and that sort of thing benefits me, because I usually just set like an AI train to be like, okay, go here from here to here, and then I'll do like the switching. So this might be almost as big as we're going to be able to get. I do want to take these these center beams, so we'll try to switch those in, and maybe the box cars. But we're almost at the limit of this track here. I'm trying to decide, maybe I should, let me push it all the way down, because it doesn't matter if I go the full length of the yard, the engines can couple right to the end of it. It's not a big deal. Yeah, the whole idea with the P&B is that it's essentially like a self-contained network. So the grand idea is that when you start up a session, you can seed the whole route with all of your freight cars, loads and empties, and everything, all of your switching occurs online. So all of the loads go to another place that's on the route, all of your empties go to another place on the route, and then they constantly are going, you know, in between. There are interchanges, there's one on each end, but that's really just a way of having it open to the outside world and maybe having some additional traffic if you want, you know, like if somebody wants to run container bridge traffic or something like that. Or like I've got a garbage processing facility up in Grafton, which has no garbage production area. So those cars would be interchanged. So yeah, I mean, the whole idea is to be able to just populate the whole route with a bunch of freight cars, and literally everything just gets networked between everything else on the route. So it's all fully self-contained. There are no like offline customers or anything like that, or at least, you know, very minimal. So I'm going to push this train all the way down pretty much as far as we can go on this siding, which we're pretty much about there, so we'll start to break. This route is just like proto freelance. There's no aspect of it that's necessarily modeling anything out of reality. Like there's some areas that are inspired by areas in real life, but nothing is, it's not even set in like a real spot. Like Grafton, or I'm sorry, let me think here. Like the name Pennsylvania and Berwind. Berwind is a play on words for the town of Windber in Pennsylvania. And this is actually a rebuild of a route that somebody else had done, Bill M001 from back in the day. So he was the original visionary. Like all this paperwork that I have, he wrote. So I've been building this route based on his original like schematic, let's say. But it's all proto freelance. Yeah, this route will be done. Well, it'll be completed in 19. I'm not going to push it to 22 just yet, so. All right, so we're going to drop these hoppers back onto this track here for now, and we will take those. Well, we'll leave. I don't know. We'll leave the tanker cars because we're getting pretty long. So what I really want to do is we'll drop off the covered hoppers and these 2 tanker cars. We'll take the center beam car. We'll take the box cars. And that'll be our train to Juniata. Because I think this is kind of how the railroads operate, right? Like the train is getting a little big, so we don't necessarily need to bring all of these tank cars. So we'll bring them on the next train, kind of thing, you know. So let's throw this switch. Let me take a quick break to use the restroom, and then we'll jump right back into this. So be right back in 1 moment, my friends. All right, that was a quick break. Let's get back to this. All right, so like I said, we're gonna leave the covered hoppers, the 2 tank cars. We'll break it off right here. We'll take the center beam and the box cars, and then I guess we'll start our way towards Allegheny. We'll see how far we get. I might just fast forward to, you know, speed through it. There's a lot of the scenery between here, actually most of the scenery between here and Highland, where we just were, is incomplete. And then most of the scenery between Highland and Allegheny is also incomplete. So it's not really like anything nice to look at. So we'll kind of just blow through that, I think. And then I kind of have to decide what engines. Do I want to use these 2 GP7s or 9s or whatever they are? Probably. It's probably the best thing to use. All right, so we will uncouple here. Oh, you know what we can do then? We can stage the... We can stage this train on the... I guess the arrival departure yard track. Oops. Oh, are my switches... Is the indication incorrect? Or, no, that was just the angle I was looking at it. Okay. I'll put that other direction. We'll couple this up, and then we'll pull the whole consist and put it onto this third track here. And then I guess we'll take these two engines. Actually, we'll take these. We'll use these three. Whatever these are. Oh, what am I doing? Why am I going on this track? Oh, I knew it was only a matter of time before I'd make a mistake. Did I just... I forgot to just throw the turn out. Haven't derailed yet, though, so that's a plus. I'm sure it's coming, though. Oh, I guess while I'm at it, I'll put the... Let me get to a stopping point, and then I'll put the Discord link in the thing, just to, for no other reason, just to anger my mods. All right, let's check our route here. Yeah. Sorry, Sean. Oops, I gotta slow down. Sorry, guys. I mean, you guys got to earn that Christmas bonus, you know? You know what? I actually don't think I... Oh, do I need to pull this onto the main track? I think I do, because it's too long for me to run around. I just gave Mal the mod powers on there. Alright, so this is a pretty healthy sized train here. Yeah, it's a little bit too long for me to run around this way. And I've got no other tracks really to do it. So, let's see, do we want to... Yeah, we're going to pull this onto the... Right, I said we're not going to use this to... Oops, what am I doing? We're not using these two engines to drive over there. We're going to use a different set of engines. Which, do I have any way... I don't really have any good way to get them over there either. Why are we not moving? There we go. Guess we're having wheel slip? That's the issue? There we go. Now we're moving. Forgot what the shortcut button for sand is. Just make sure my tracks are all set in the proper direction. Okay. Yeah, all these signals are placeholders, so this big mess of signals is going to be short-lived. Oh, you know what I can do? If I just pull this train past this junction here, then I can pull those three engines out and just couple right onto it. I think that's what I'm gonna do. That'll be faster. Still be looking pretty nice, though, I must admit. It's a little laggy right now, and I think it's just because I'm streaming. Like when I'm running this without streaming, it's buttery smooth. Is there a way to know how many cars are in this train? Like if I do view details, what does this say? Just the length. Train length, 3,476 feet. Pretty good. So it's like, what, like a half a mile? 5,280 feet is 1 mile, so yeah. Oh, because it's on signal. I was gonna say, I don't know why this is a red signal since all the switches are aligned properly. All right, are we clear of the yard yet? Almost. So we really just need to clear this one. Let's clear the crossing. And then we'll grab the engines that we're going to use. Ah, passenger station or small industrial. That's a good idea, actually. Passenger station would be pretty good. What about an airport? Man, people are always suggesting that I add an airport to the P&B. And I don't know why. I don't really have a whole lot of interest in doing airports. It's not really my thing. I think it would be cool, but I don't know if I just don't know if there's the assets for it. You know? All right, so let's grab these guys. I have absolutely no idea what kind of an engine this is. What is this? B30-7. So these will be our road units here. I don't know if Jaden has the bandwidth to do anything else. I do like the idea of putting a passenger station in there, though. I think that that would be, yeah, up there right outside of town. That would probably make the most sense, wouldn't it? I'm into that idea, so I might integrate that. Wow, these engines really move. Okay. A freight car that I would want that hasn't been made yet. That's a good question. I honestly don't know. So what I need to do right now is jump into this cab and uncouple. Just pull ahead a little bit. The museum, there's a museum in Allegheny already, so we will definitely be, you know, using that, but that's already there. So I'm not going to do another, like, rail museum. Oh, I need to go the other way. Okay, and then we can grab these guys. These TRC crossings are Ryan's trains, I think. I don't think that they work anymore, though. That's the thing. All right, catch you later, a Brit who likes tea. Thanks for hanging out. See you next time. We're going to wrap up probably in a few minutes anyway. I'm going to try to get this train down to Highland, and we'll tie it down there. And then we'll have to pick things up another time. All right. That's it for the coffee. All right, so what we're gonna do is we will just check our turnouts. We'll pull up to the edge of the yard. Oop. Let's add a little sand. Did I accidentally connect to the other engines down here? Is that what's happening? Nope. So then we'll tie down those engines in the engine yard over here. And we'll have to just see if we can get this down to Highland at least. I'm like way over time that I was planning to do this stream for, but it's not a big deal. Yeah, I'm still thinking about the freight cars. I don't know. I always like kind of like the weirder things when it comes to railroading. Like I like the Alco locomotives because they're kind of weird looking. So any kind of like unconventional freight car I think would be cool. I think some of my favorite freight cars are like the bulkheads. So maybe like a bulkhead flat with like different types of like bracings on it would be pretty cool. Maybe something like that I would like. Or like these gondolas are nice. It'd be cool to maybe have a gondola with like the higher sides. Some better wood chip cars would be pretty good too. I would take that. I would like some nice wood chip cars. I mean, there's some good ones out there, but they're few and far between. Sweet deal, Willies. That's much appreciated. Yeah, this is the Juniata from October apparently, so that'll be all right. The thing is like as long as we are passing the route back and forth to each other, I can't do an operating session that is going to take any freight cars into the phase 1 area because they're going to get deleted when I merge the route. So I can only really take trains as far as like the paper mill outside of Allegheny, because once I go into Allegheny, everything is going to get deleted when I go to do a merge. So that's why I've been kind of avoiding that. This is looking really good though. I'm pretty pleased with it, and I haven't really touched this yard in a long time, so. So let's just get to the end of this yard ladder. I'm going to stop the train and then align all of the switches, and then it'll be clear for highball. But like I said, the scenery between here and Highland is not, it's old scenery, and then there's a lot of grid, so I'm just going to kind of speed through it. I'll probably switch this to DCC mode, and then we'll sort of do a little fast forward thing. Oh, the coil cars, yeah. I still have the old ones, I think, from our mods from way back in the day. They're probably like 10 years old at this point. Those are the only ones that were really ever made. And I actually don't even know if I have them installed in 19. I'm going to have to reinstall them into 19 because I need those for Allegheny Steel, man. I guess before I close out and wrap out tonight, I'll do a quick tour. Not a tour, but I'll jump around a little bit to familiarize anybody who's been, you know, new here or hasn't been around long enough to have a full overview of the P&B. We'll just do a kind of a really quick overview. All right, so let's stop here. And then I'll play dispatcher and we'll switch some tracks. All right, let's see what we got here. We're gonna have to switch that. Although this is a manual switch, this would probably be a remote switch, I would imagine. That is good, that is good, that is good. Which track is the main track? We could just go that way, yeah. All right, so what I'm gonna do is switch this into DCC mode. I'm gonna go up here to enable, where the heck is it? Debug features, that's gonna allow me to fast forward through things. And we'll just kind of start moving. So I'm holding the shift button to sort of speed things up here. I'm not actually going that quick. Although when I do that fast forward thing, it does cause some issues, so we just have to be careful. I can derail the train accidentally. We kind of need to get out of this yard first. So what I was saying is we'll go from here up to Allegheny is right here, and we'll just sort of tie it down. Let me see what the switch situation is here and make sure that we're on the main line. This is where we were just working before. I might need to extend this siding a little bit longer, but not worried about it right now. I really wish this drone camera was a little bit slower to move, like in and out. Like this is just way too fast. I mean, it's fine for like when you're playing, but if I wanted to use it for, you know, cinematics in a video, it's too fast. All right, let's speed things up a little bit. Okay, awesome. Yeah, this scenery is not complete or anywhere near. It's all just temporary. This is like old scenery, and I have to replace all this. And I think the distance between Grafton and Highland is around 10 to 12 miles. So when you're going like 30 miles an hour, like for me, that's long enough of a distance. I got to do all the scenery through here. I got to replace all those billboard trees. I got to replace all these grasses and shrubs. Like this is all stuff that I did back in like Trains 2010, 2012. Ancient scenes. Like even this here, this crossing here, it looks terrible. Because it's all old assets, so I have to go through and replace them all and clean it up. So we're just gonna speed our way through here. And we are approaching Highland. Oh God, we're going 60 miles an hour. Slow down a little bit. This is where we were just working, so maybe let's try to get like a nice angle here. Would be good. Let's see where's the sun? This might be a good angle. Or do we want to... Yeah, look at that. That's cool. It's looking good. So I think through here, the speed limit is probably going to be like 50 miles an hour or something like that. 45 or 50. I think it'd be cool to see trains like really whipping through here. So actually I need to slow down because we're going to tie the train down here. I don't know, I like scenes like this where you're kind of, you know, peeking through the trees and stuff like that, you know. Makes me feel like I'm really there. But let's get up to the junction up here, and then we'll do a quick overview of the route, and then we'll wrap it up. Oops. Actually turn that debug feature off now. It's like some of the shadows are a little bit too dark. I need to dial in the environmental settings a little bit more, but I mean, this is a pretty nice scene. You could see like the whole length of the train coming through the middle of this city. I like that. Pretty cool. I don't think that this siding would be long enough to be used as a passing siding necessarily, but maybe. I mean, if this is like the maximum length train that we can get from the, well, that was like the shortest track in the yard, so. So this train looks like it's just about long enough that I think if we had to run another train around it, I think it would make it, right? Maybe like one car too long. Ooh, why are we going backwards? Oh, all the slack is going out. Yeah, this is like one or two cars too long, but all right, so that's a good idea for the scale of the passing siding here. So we might, I mean, this is meant to be less of a passing siding, I think, and more of an industrial runaround. But I could extend this another, I don't know, a couple hundred feet, so I think that's fine. All right, so let's do a quick overview here. Well, I'll leave it in driver mode, it doesn't matter. Can I, what is it, F5? There we go, clear the screen. Yeah, so this is Highland. If we continue down the main line a bit, a lot of scenery work to do through here. We've got the passing siding that I added in the previous episode, episode 50. I'll have to measure out the distance of that. Right here, we've got our Paint Creek branch. The Paint Creek branch is only like 2 miles long. It goes up through the woods here. And it just goes up to this lumber mill up here. This is where we get all of our lumber. So we'll have inbound logs, outbound like sawdust or wood chips or whatever, and outbound lumber loads. And then the track just sort of stops up in the woods up in here, which I really love. I still love how this looks. And I have been updating the trees. So these were all billboard trees, and I've updated them to the 3D trees. I still need to finish some of the scenery around here, but I'll get to that eventually. If we go a little bit further down the main line, we're going to run into the Pleasantville secondary. Right here, this is Grundy's. I think this is Grundy's. gravel pits. This is one of our gravel receivers. So anything coming out, not anything, but some of our stuff that comes out of our gravel yard will come to here. This is the Pleasantville secondary here, so we'll fly down that really quick. So this is what I've been most recently working on, and is finally like getting close to a level of completion. We've got our Moss Creek branch here, which goes off this way. This is where our logs are going to come from. We've got our logging camp up there. We fly down further through the Pleasantville secondary. We come into Pleasantville, which is like a nice little farming town. So we have a train down here with some loaded coal, not copper, coal cars. But we have our little town here, just supposed to be sort of like a little upstate New York type town. We come down a little bit further, and off to the left goes up to Mine 78. And then off to the right here goes to the power plant. So we're mostly done with that. You can see they end over there. So we'll go back up to the main line. If we continue down, so Pleasantville secondary is right here. If we continue down this way, obviously this is a lot of work I need to fill in here. We come to the viaduct, which is a nice scene here. So this is probably all gonna be farmlands as I work through it. We come through here, we head towards Mount Union. This is all gonna be farmland. Just started roughing in what it's going to look like, what the layout is. Right here is Mount Union. Like an old passing siding or local siding, no longer used. Up here we've got Huntington Paper Mill. This is like one of my favorite industries here. A lot of complex track. Oh, we have to fix this. Let me fix this. Since I've been doing this merge, this back and forth with Willys, there's been some like ghosting with, how do I get back into the edit surveyor? There's been some ghosting with some of the tracks where, or like splines, it's not just track, but certain splines are sort of like duplicating themselves and creating these weird sort of things. So that's a piece of ghost track, which I'm going to delete. There we go. But this is one of my favorite industries here, aside from the brewery up at Highland. But again, there's a lot of work to do here. But I really love how the scenes turned out here. Like just a complete spider web of tracks. There's a lot of different buildings all over the place. So this is going to be a busy facility to switch out. So I really like that. As we continue this way, we're approaching Highland. We're approaching Allegheny. And this is where the phase 1 section ended, was right here. I clipped it off. So this is the start of phase 1, and 44 Willys has been working to update it. So you'll see some new stuff here. It's not fully updated. There's still a lot of billboard trees and stuff like that, but we're getting there. So this is our division point yard in the middle of the route. So we have a eastbound and a westbound yard. We also have Allegheny Steel up here. A lot of areas that still need some detailing that I sort of left, I guess. Allegheny Steel is up here, which probably needs to be updated at some point as well. Within Allegheny, we have our support facilities in terms of like repair shops and that sort of thing. We've got an engine yard. We have a large passenger station. We have our tourist railroad here, which 44 Willys put in for me, which looks really phenomenal. We did have some trains staged here at one point, but I think in one of the updates that I did, they disappeared. As we continue heading out this way, we head out of Allegheny and we go through... I'm moving faster than the game could load the territory. Again, like all these billboard trees are going to be replaced. Now we are fully on phase 1 here, so this is what's available now. But it has since been updated quite a bit with some newer scenery. We've got some grain silos here for some grain traffic. We can continue to head down the main line. Things are rendering very slowly. Yeah, these billboard trees look awful. It's weird. They look really bad from one direction and then sort of okay from another direction, but they're all going to be gone eventually, so no worries there. We've got some nice water scenes here. Couple of bridges. As we go through the main line, we're going to come up to, what is this, Huskins Gravel, I think? Is that Huskins? I don't know if I'm... No, not Huskins. Oh god, I can't remember all the names of all these places. We've got our gravel quarry up here, which is one of my other favorite industrial complexes here. We got some small yard here, lots of switching, so gravel, sand, and that sort of thing all come out of this place. A lot of fun to switch that out. As we continue down the track towards Juniata, a lot of the scenery is not loading in. We hit the town of Laurel, and off of Laurel we have the Babcock Spur, which is one of my favorite coal branches. It comes down this way, and we've got like a small coal tipple down here that supports, I don't know, like 18 cars maybe, tops. So this is a cool little facility to switch out down here, also one of my favorite runs. So we continue down the main line towards Juniata. We go through Laurel. As we go through Laurel, we've got our Mill Creek, or oh my god, what is this? Not the, is it the Pleasant? No. Well, this is going to go off to Mill Creek. I'm trying to remember what the name of this was. The Coal Creek Spur? I can't remember what the name of this is. Secondary? Oh man, I got to look at the paperwork. But anyway, we'll continue down the main line. Here, this goes down to the Vonnie Branch in Old Town, which we'll take a look at in a moment as well. As we continue down the main line, we've got M & West Furniture Company right here off of the main line. And then we get up to Juniata. The game is like frozen right now. There we go. There's a lot of assets up here that it's loading in at the moment. So we've got another major yard. This is at the far end of the route. And it is just really dragging its feet at the moment. Could probably switch back into... Well, if I switch back into driver, it's going to take me away, but driver mode would probably be a little bit more smooth. So we've got our switching yard here, and then off to the left, this is meant to be a bit more of a MOW/interchange yard. We've got some engine tracks over here. These are our engine tracks. We have another passenger station here for Amtrak or commuter service. And the track goes to the right, just goes to a portal, and the track to the left just goes to a portal. So let's go back down. We'll fly down Old Town first, and then we'll go down Mill Creek. Some of this stuff is starting to look kind of dated now, even though I only just built it a couple years ago, but... so we'll go down we'll check out Old Town. So this is the Vonnie Spur, I believe. We've got a bit of a runaround passing siding. This is Old Town right here, which is looking very dated at this point. We've got our lumber distributing company here. So this is where our center beams are going to go with the loads. We've got an old defunct passenger station right here. Got our coal dealer here, Thompson's Coal. And then back here, we've got our oil plant. If it would load. It'll get there eventually. Maybe I should turn down the render distance. I have a couple buildings that I ported in that are like super high poly nearby. And that's sort of what's dragging this down at the moment. Come on. well, let me go to just drive. Sometimes it populates a little bit faster if you're in driver mode than in surveyor. But it's really dragging. But anyway, this is our facility here. It's not loaded in for some reason. The track just dead ends up there. If we continue down to Vonnie, we've got a couple industries along here. And the game is really not doing anything right now. Wow. Wow, stuff is actually disappearing. Come on. Eventually we get up to Vonnie. This is the town of Vonnie, which is loosely inspired by Windber, Pennsylvania. We've got our abandoned coal mine back here, which I built like a gajillion years ago. Is that grassy grass too? Oh my god, that needs to go. So we got that. A couple of industries up here. An old MOW yard that's out of service. The baseball game that never ends. And then that goes down and ends at Iron City. That's the end of track down here. There's one industry at the end, which is Iron City Sash and Door. That gets switched out right here. And the only other branch that's down here is Mill Creek. So we'll just jump down to it. And this is, well, Mill Creek is the name of the town. And the PBS Coal is the name of the industry. So that's this place here, which is looking pretty good still. So again, you've got your empty coal cars are going to come up here. And this is sort of a empties in, loads out type operation, because I don't really care to like sit and load and unload individual coal cars. So this is supposed to be like two different types of coal or clean coal. I don't really know much about how coal is mined and put into freight cars. I know there's like cleaned and sorted coal and then raw coal and anthracite and blah, blah, blah. But this is supposed to be just two different types of coal maybe coming out. So yeah, that's pretty much it. This is the whole shebang. Kind of get like a nice overview of it. It's a good healthy size, you know. It's like I said, it's about 40 miles from Grafton all the way down to, might be like 43 or 45, down to Juniata. We've got our division point yard in the middle, and operations like should be pretty cool once I get them going. I mean, I've done some beta ops sessions and that sort of thing, so you know, I have a good idea of how it's all going to work and come together, but we'll see, you know, as things develop. Hopefully I get this route done eventually. But I think that is probably going to do it for tonight. So let me do a quick save, and I will say thank you guys for hanging out and watching tonight. Let's see, we're going to overwrite the existing session and all that. Thanks for hanging out, and I had a lot of fun tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. And if I don't see you guys again before Christmas or New Year's or any of the holidays or anything like that, I hope you guys have a happy holiday and a happy new year. Hopefully I'll get to do another stream before then, but I never know anymore. So until the next one, thank you guys so much. Have a good night. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.